Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charnow, leading the next generation of football fans live on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and right here on 1252 Sports. Guys, it's still the offseason. I know. Unfortunately, it's already felt like a year, right? It's been 2 weeks since Super Bowl. That's crazy. 2 weeks since the Rams took home the Lombardi Trophy, Cooper Kupp won MVP, Matt Stafford got his ring, and then we start to look forward. And what do we have to look forward to? So the franchise tag window opened, I think, a couple days ago. I think it was the 22nd, so 4 or 5 days ago that was, which means teams can start using the franchise tag on players, right? Some names that we might see get the franchise tag if the teams cannot agree on a long-term extension are, Devontae Adams, J.C. Jackson, Jesse Bates, some really talented big names in the NFL right now, right? So there's, as everyone knows, 3 types of franchise tags. There's the non-exclusive franchise tag, the exclusive franchise tag, and the transition tag. So we'll see which one each team uses. I think the most common one is the non-exclusive franchise tag because it's the most team-friendly. But obviously, no player wants to be franchise tagged because the NFL, the careers are so short and so sudden. Careers can be ended, anytime with the amount of contact, and players want to make their money while they can still play football. So, we've seen players hold out. Most notably, we've seen some players, maybe some of their talent levels and production levels fall off after they decide to sit out or hold out until camp or maybe a whole season. Le'Veon Bell. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But just because the point I'm trying to make is that just because there's no football being played doesn't mean that there's no news going on in the NFL, right? Just today on this show, in the next hour, you will hear me talk about, of course, because every offseason we're talking about him, Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about some of these franchise tag guys. We're going to talk about some people who maybe want to get traded, maybe. We're going to talk about how the cap in the NFL is a goddamn myth because it doesn't exist. If you look at what the Saints are doing, what the Bucs did last year, what the Packers have done, it makes 0 sense how the cap works. And I promise you, unless you're like a cap wizard, no one understands. So it is what it is. And by the way, my first top 10 pick mock draft 1.0 coming later in the show today. So we have a ton to talk about. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's bring in our guest. We're going to do the mock at the end, a little bit towards the end of the show. Let's get our guests in here for right now. As always, every Sunday, got to get him on, Mr. Harry the Greek. Harry, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, buddy. How are you, man? Good Sunday morning to everybody up there. And always, I have to give the weather report because everybody's so interested. It's nice outside today. It's no clouds. It's about 75 degrees. Today's high is going to be like 81. Tropical breeze coming from the southwest at about 5 miles an hour. I think it's going to be a beach day.
A
Hang
beach
on.
day. What do we got here?
What do you think, Zipper? Do you think it's a beach day? No? Okay. I
Yeah.
was just kind of curious.
All right. In New Jersey, we got a high of like 40 today. So that's
40. Oh, yeah.
it's chilly. It's chilly.
It's a little chilly. Hey, Jacob, I just wanted to let everybody know if you have a question or comment, make sure you post them. And do us a favor, hit the like button. Put this on your page and share it to somebody else's page. This is how we grow organically. And most importantly, if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let him know.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're disagreeing with him, that means you're probably agreeing with me. And
That's probably what it is.
And I'd love to hear about that. So, same goes for me. You disagree with me, throw that in the comments because I'm sure Harry would love to read those. And listen, what's a show without our number one troll, right? Troy Polamalu. And all right, listen,
I love Troy.
Jets are doing everything they can to trade Zach Wilson, and the best Greek pizza is Little Caesars. Okay, so
Hey.
here's what I'll say, Troy. He better be a kid. If not, it's kind of upsetting if it's not a kid because hiding behind a name, whatever is what it is. Let's talk. All right, We're on 1252 Chicago. Harry, you're a Bears fan. I'm not. But you've had to deal with what the last 3 years? 4 years? 3 years, I think. Um, I'm gonna say is you have to deal with Matt Nagy coaching your football team, right? You don't anymore, right? Now you guys have a great coach and former Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, who I think is a great fit for the Bears. But Matt Nagy got a job.
Yes, he did.
Matt Nagy got a job as the Chiefs' offensive assistant slash quarterback coach.
Mhm.
Good for him, right?
Absolutely. Went from a head coach, he went from the penthouse to the outhouse. But you
You
know
know,
what? That Patrick Mahomes is gonna be even greater this year.
yeah, obviously.
It's
He's gonna
all Matt Nagy.
it's all that offense, you know.
Oh
I
god.
think I think the funniest thing about it is that if Eric Bieniemy were to get a job next year now, which we say it every year, but if he were to now get a job in the next head coaching search or he leaves Kansas City, does that mean Matt Nagy's going to become the offensive coordinator there?
He would be. He would be the OC there. He actually called a lot of offensive plays for Kansas City. He actually held that duty for a while in Kansas City.
All right. So, how do you think that would affect the that Chiefs offense?
Well, in with the personnel that they have, I think he'd be very successful because he doesn't like to run the ball and they chuck the ball all over the place. So I mean, he's gonna have success. His game plan works. It just doesn't work in the city of Chicago. They never have that kind of. They never had those type of weapons. Not the skill set was totally different in Kansas City, and he just couldn't mold his game to the way it should have been in Chicago. A little bit more running, throw the ball out of the backfield type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree. All right, Aaron Rodgers, man. I know.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers. You were
We're
talking
talking
about
about him.
we're,
He's went through his 20th fiance in the past 3 years.
we're talking about Harry's like hit list here on this show. Listen, Aaron Rodgers posts this cryptic Instagram message, right, where he's like, he's showing gratitude to everybody, his family, his ex fiance, the Packers quarterback room, and then everyone's like, "Oh, well, that's a decision, right? He's gone. He's gone. He's making his decision soon." That seems like a goodbye message, doesn't it? Right?
Nah, it's all crap.
And
Stop.
he goes on the Pat McAfee show, and he says, "Oh, no decision, just showing gratitude. Just came off a cleanse."
The cleanse.
He came off.
That
Isn't that the most LA thing you've ever heard in your
I
whole life?
love it. I'm
And he
I'm getting the cleanse.
came off a cleanse with him. It was him and Dr. Joe Rogan who who went on that cleanse together. Um, but yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, we talk about it every single year, every week, right? We talked about it every week of the offseason for the last 2 years. Do you think realistically, right? He there's any way he ends up staying in Green Bay? And if he doesn't, where do the Packers go from here? Because I have nothing. I have nothing.
Jacob, I don't know, man.
We saw Jordan Love play a little bit. What I saw, and I know it takes time because it's the NFL, and when you can't just throw a guy into the fire. We talk about it every year with these rookie quarterbacks. But Jordan Love looked really bad, and
Love him. Absolutely love Jordan Love. Make sure Green Bay starts him game
yeah,
one.
and even compared to the rookie quarterbacks from this year who went first round, he looked bad after sitting a year behind Aaron Rodgers, which I thought was God's gift to a quarterback sitting behind a veteran. Right? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do from here on out, especially if they lose Devontae Adams, right?
I'm not too sure that Devontae Adams stays in Green Bay. I mean, I think there's a lot of interest right now with the Raiders, from what I understand. But then again, I mean, look, man, you said it best, Jacob. The cap. Really? Is there really even such a thing? I think it's a mystery. I think it's just a thrown out number. You can do whatever you want with it. But as far as Devontae Adams is concerned, I think they need to know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. I don't think they're going to pay Devontae Adams that kind of money if Aaron Rodgers isn't staying. But I hate to say this. I I think he's staying in Green Bay. I just do.
Yeah, I mean, okay, right. Here's the thing. And everyone's like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers will go somewhere else and he'll make a team great." What team would he go to that's in need of a quarterback right now? That's better than Green Bay with
Oh,
better
I can name a couple.
better staff. I can't think of anything with better weapons if they can get Devontae Adams back.
I think he could go to San Francisco and made an immediate impact. I think they would be the Super Bowl favorite if he went to San Fran, because of one reason, two reasons. Their run game, I think, could be a lot better because they don't have better running backs. I just think that they run the ball more efficiently,
Mhm.
more effectively, and I think that would make Aaron Rodgers even a better quarterback, in my opinion. I don't think his yardage is going to increase or even stay the same in San Fran. I think they would decrease a little bit, but his passes would be a lot more effective because of the run game and that scheme. Two, their defense is not a little bit better than Green Bay's. It's light years better than Green Bay, and they were banged up this year. That's how good.
I think San Fran's probably his best option if he wants to win a Super Bowl. But is Aaron Rodgers going to want to go to a division with the Rams who just won the Super Bowl, with the Seahawks, with the Cardinals now who are about to I hear after all that drama work on a long-term extension with Kyler Murray. Um, I just don't know. I don't know if he wants to do that. His best chance of staying in the playoffs, making it back to a Super Bowl, I think is with the Packers. I think the Packers need to just get their heads out of the sand and get him one more offensive piece.
Yeah,
One
but
more.
they're not going to spend the money to do that, and they're in cap hell right now. And I understand you think it's a fallacy, but they really are in cap hell. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are going to require too much money. That's just my opinion.
$70 million a year.
And no one ever said that. Look, anybody who treats his mother and father the way that Aaron Rodgers does, and yes, I'm saying that you don't talk to your own mother and father or your family because of some BS reason that happened, I'm not going to call you a very intelligent individual. Okay. Look, you're absolutely correct. Why would he want to go to that division? Because he thinks he's the absolute best. Right now, he's still in the shadow of two quarterbacks. You know who they are? Tom Brady, who's retired. He's never going to be. And Patrick Mahomes. Those are the two that are getting all the love. All the love. That's it. They can walk on water. And he's still not in the same conversation. But if he was to do that and go to San Francisco, he thinks to himself, in my opinion, that he can finally come out of that light. He can get out of being, well, I'll be second to Brady or Mahomes. That's just my opinion. So you're right. I know exactly where you're coming from on that, but I don't think that's the way he's looking at it. I don't think he's a very intelligent person.
I don't know, man. This is it's if he ends up staying in Green Bay, I'm done talking about him for until he decides to go somewhere else. Because next year, if he does the same stuff, I'm not going to do it. I just won't talk about it. No one, you guys can get your news elsewhere because I am done with him. I am so done with these headlines. But he's giving us content. He's giving us stuff to talk about, isn't he?
Yeah,
Every
without question
single
he
week.
is.
Every single week. All right, Jarvis Landry had some words this week. He said that he's confident in the midst of possible trade talks or hitting. I don't think he's a free agent. I forgot what his exact situation is. Maybe the tag. I don't know. But in the midst of him possibly leaving Cleveland, he said that he's confident that he would like to stay in Cleveland, but he's confident that he can win a championship elsewhere.
Yep.
Jarvis Landry, I don't want to hear that injury narrative talk. He only really missed games in I think just last year and maybe the year before. It really wasn't that many. It's once again this OBJ talk, right? Oh, he's washed, he's done whatever, this, that. He has no quarterback. Give him a team, give him a guy that can throw the ball. He was great in Miami. Do you remember with Ryan Tannehill when Ryan Tannehill was coached by Adam Gase? He was Jarvis Landry was really that
No,
good.
no, you can't say
Really?
that word.
I know.
DAG.
I know. But
There's a lot of speculation. I'm going to interject here.
go ahead.
That the Chicago Bears are the front runner for Jarvis Landry this year.
Oh, great.
They really are.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
that's big news right now. They're the leading candidate to land Jarvis Landry. They are looking to have them. And get this, they're also looking to try to re-sign Allen Robinson. How about that one?
I would. Okay.
Why
I
would you
get it.
have
I get it.
A-Rob
I
and
get it for
Jarvis in
the
the
Bears
same?
fans. I get it for the Bears fans. I'm sorry, but why would Allen Robinson want to stay in Chicago? I can't see it. You look at that target share. I don't think it was. I really don't think it was Nagy that was holding back Allen Robinson. I think it was poor quarterback play. I do. I really do.
I can see that, but
I really do.
could you imagine a different system and you have A-Rob, Jarvis Landry, and a Darnell Mooney out there?
But even here's my thing.
Oh,
Even
but
with
they're also saying the kid from Atlanta. What the hell's his name?
Calvin Ridley, but I don't think they
They're
let.
saying Calvin Ridley
I
might
don't.
be
I
going.
don't think they'll be able to.
Everybody's going to Chicago. It's just
Yeah.
like when I say everybody wants to be Greek.
Yeah, I don't think everyone is.
Okay.
I don't think they'll get Ridley. I think Ridley commands a first round pick probably, and which the Bears don't have because now they have Justin Fields, which I think is a fair deal. Um, but listen, Fields. What we saw, Fields' favorite target is Darnell Mooney. Even when Allen Robinson was on the field, right, his favorite target was Darnell Mooney. So what's to say that's going to change if Allen Robinson resigns there and Jarvis Landry goes there?
I would love to be the chef of the poo-poo soup here, but I read an article, Chicago fans and everybody else that's out there. You can find it for yourself. Google search Mitch Trubisky to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're supposedly okay. The Green Bay Packers, if they lose Aaron Rodgers, have heavy interest in Mitchell Trubisky.
They should. They should. He's going to be pretty good wherever he goes, I think.
Oh, I 100 million% believe you. If he becomes a Packer and has
Oh,
success
that would be so funny. Oh, that would be so funny.
for you,
Oh yeah.
not me.
Listen, I'm a Jets fan. I'm like that's like the we're like the farm system for other teams. Fire Salah, bring back Rex. Look, I was all in on Rex before they hired Salah. When I didn't think they were going to get him, I was all in on Rex Ryan, and all of you know that. But I think
I love Rex
that
Ryan.
was so
Brady's going
funny.
to San Fran, not Rodgers.
Oh my God,
Christopher Cole says, "Hey guys,
what up, Chris?
what up, Chris?" Trey Palomino says, "Bears need to focus on beating the Packers, not getting a new stadium." Chicago Mayor. That's true. That's actually a really good comment, Troy, because first off, the mayor doesn't know what she's talking about anyway.
I don't even know who the mayor is of Chicago.
Mayor Lightfoot. Go ahead and Google it. It's a treat. Trust me.
All right. Either way, whatever. Listen. So let's say the Bears. I want to bring this back here. So let's say the Bears, right?
The Bears.
Re-sign Allen Robinson, get all these targets back, and let's say they even get Jarvis Landry. What's that step gonna look like?
Oh, and I forgot Chris Godwin too.
Yeah, and Chris Godwin.
And Chris
And
Calvin Ridley.
while you're at it, you're gonna be the one to pay Devontae Adams $30 million a year. He's gonna
I
say,
don't know.
"I
Devontae Adams.
want to get back at Green Bay, and I'm gonna go to Chicago."
Now Devontae hasn't really been in too much of the conversations, but it's Calvin Ridley, Devontae Adams, Jarvis Landry. Excuse me, and Allen Robinson.
And I think, and as a Jets fan, I'm sorry, but just prepare, just because we all know you're gonna get none of them. You're gonna get none of them. You're gonna get none of them. We'll
That's not
talk.
true. I'll tell you what. I'm going to say they will get one of the four.
One, you think they'll get one of the four?
One of the four, maybe two.
Okay. I think the most realistic option, if any of the four, it's you're gonna re-sign Allen Robinson.
The reason why I think they're going to get him is they have a new coaching staff. You have a second-year quarterback who's got a huge upside. You have a really good running game. You have an offensive line that's not really as far bad as people think it is, and you have a defense that's already plug and play.
Right.
Okay, so you have a lot of upside. This team could have. Let me tell you something. With the right couple of pieces, this team could make a run at the division into the playoffs this year.
Depends. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, absolutely. With Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, I just don't see it happening. You know, I think that's the reality. I don't think you guys can't make the playoffs. I think this is fully a team that can make the playoffs. I don't think this is a team that can win that division with Aaron Rodgers there still.
I have another narrative I'd like to jump on if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
How about Coach Lovie Smith?
I love Smith.
How about Coach Smith? How about all the shade that was thrown with the interviews that were happening? They already knew They weren't hiring. They were just interviewing people to make it look right. He was penciled in to be the head coach, and that is absolute facts.
That's awesome, though, man.
Okay.
I think I mean, it's all pleasantries. They're not gonna if they knew, you still have to do the interviews, right? Because if one guy comes in, I don't think he was. I think that he was penciled in, but there was an eraser at the end of that pencil.
Yeah, that could have been.
You know, if someone came in and really impressed them, then you're like, okay, well,
It's
maybe.
the only reason why they fired that head coach is because they already promised him the job.
Yeah,
And
well,
and if I'm not mistaken, Pep Hamilton may be following him there, which is a really good hire. He's extraordinary with quarterbacks and a good OC.
yeah, yeah, and I think we'll talk about that more when I do my mock draft. I'll talk about Lovie Smith a little bit when I get to that Texans pick, and how much I like that. But
But
I want to talk.
congratulations, man. I mean, that's just
Oh,
awesome that he
absolutely.
got another job again. He's so well deserving. He
Mhm.
got fired winning 10 games. Are you kidding me?
Like Jim Caldwell, I couldn't understand why the Lions fired him, why another team hasn't tried to pick him up. I
I
don't understand it. I think Jim Caldwell was a great coach.
I can agree with that.
Whatever. But I want to talk about this because I heard a little talk over in Indianapolis that there's basically no chance Carson Wentz is the quarterback there next year.
Yeah. And
So
and that leads me to tell you that there's a lot of Tampa fans down here, including hi Peter, that they're wishing that Carson Wentz comes here to Florida. Are they out of their mind? Carson Wentz here in Tampa Bay to lead this
yeah, that
team.
would be ridiculous, man.
It would be. You're better off with Blaine Gabbert. Say it with me, buddy.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert, Blaine Gabbert, Blaine Gabbert. He's the future of Tampa right now. He's been in the system for 5 years. He knows the system better than anybody.
Yeah,
He's gonna work it,
yeah.
and then he's gonna hand the reins over to the second round draft pick and Kyle Trask.
Talent. I think talent over that when it comes to a quarterback. And is Blaine Gabbert's not going to get you into the playoffs? Like
Bro, Blaine
it's
Gabbert will win him 10 to
laughable.
13. I'll tell you what, Blaine Gabbert will have a better career with the Buccaneers than Carson Wentz will coming here.
Okay, I think that's more fair to say because I mean Carson Wentz
They,
already throws a
no,
bunch of interceptions, and then
yeah.
on top of that, now he's going to have to play with Bruce Arians.
Can you, especially playing with Bruce Arians in the chuck it, risk it, no biscuit deal? Okay, they don't look. All I'm going to say, and I don't want to spend too much time on this Tampa narrative. Honestly, I don't, because I know there's Tampa fans that watch this program, and I don't want to step on their toes. You don't have the money to spend on a premier quarterback. I'm sorry. You better start Blaine Gabbert and try to re-sign Godwin and the other 10 players that are coming up that aren't going to be on this football team next year. Because if you don't, you're going to be an under 500 football team. You went from the penthouse to the outhouse. That's just the reality. But if you keep Gabbert and he understands the system and you manage to keep Chris Godwin and keep some of that nucleus on that defense, you can still win a division and make a run into the playoffs. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Carson Wentz, he stinks.
I want to talk about the hole that Carson Wentz is going to leave in Indianapolis, right? Who's going to play quarterback now? And what I heard, my favorite fit for him was by far the Giants because had the year with Dable, had the year in that Bill system.
Was Mitchell Trubisky.
I'm hearing Mitch Trubisky.
I hear that too. I hear Mitch Trubisky to Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Indy,
I'm not
Giants,
hearing.
Washington.
I'm hearing Indy, and I'm hearing the Giants. I think those are the two. Those are the ones I'm hearing.
Yep.
Um,
And I guarantee you he'll have a good year. You know why? Because they're not going to offer him a huge contract. They're going to offer him a make it or break it deal for 1 year. And I promise you, you put
dude,
that young man into a Trubisky. Trust me, if he plays as good as I think he's going to play, wherever he goes, he's going to get paid, bro. They're going to back up that Brinks truck, and Chicago's going to be doing this. Especially me.
I'm gonna go with this now. Number one spot right now, besides San Fran, I think Aaron Rodgers can land is in Indianapolis. That is a team that has they have their stuff together. They have there's a respected front office. Chris Ballard, Frank Reich. They're a great duo at coach and GM. This is a team that with Aaron Rodgers, I thought with Carson Wentz they were going to be a good playoff team. They didn't make the playoffs, but with Aaron Rodgers, I think they're making a run, possibly winning that division. Right?
No, they definitely. You could put an Aaron Rodgers on that team. They'd be an unbreakable force, especially with that defense. That
And they
defense
can afford
is
him.
just
And they
as
can
good.
afford him.
Look, that defense is just as good as San Fran's, and yeah, that they would be very Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to leave Green Bay if he wants to get into the same conversations as a Patrick Mahomes. Oh, there's Zipper behind us. You see him?
I think the back-to-back MVPs definitely helps, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be Major League Baseball this year, or are they going to play a Ukraine and Russia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they going to just keep fighting? Oh, those poor people in Ukraine. I didn't mean to bring that up. God, that's so horrible, isn't it?
That's awful. It's
It
really
is.
awful. It's
It's awful.
hmm but man, this MLB stuff is this lockout. I'm getting tired of it. I'm really getting tired of it. I just want to see baseball. I just want to see baseball being played.
I want to see baseball too.
I just want to see news, MLB news. There's nothing going on. Nothing can happen. Nothing can go on. Once the Bucks.
Just
This one
to see
guy
what
keeps switching accounts. I don't know what's going on with him. It's Antonio Brown now. Cool.
I love Antonio Brown, free agent.
Whatever.
Hashtag innocent. Hashtag still booming. I love it. I love it. Antonio, baby, they owe you millions.
Yeah, they definitely do. Whatever. All right, Harry. I think it's time for my my mock draft.
Oh,
It's
I'm
time
so
for my
excited.
mock draft.
I'm so excited. It's a mock
You
draft.
want to hang in here for the mock draft? You want to hang out?
Sure, I love hearing the mock draft. You know why? Because we're going to have a mock draft 1.0 today, and in 3 weeks it's going to be
Well, okay.
2.0 and 4.
Here's
By
my
the time we're done,
1.0 pre-free agency, no trades. Obviously, the rules of my mock drafts, no trades allowed because they're unpredictable. You can't predict trades. But pre-free agency, this is the 1.0. So if you say, "Oh, they're gonna get this guy in free agency," they're not gonna pick him. You should remember that I said pre-free agency, and you should shut your mouth and just listen to my picks.
yeah.
So, number 1 overall.
Oh God.
I know you're gonna hear that a lot over the next 3 months, Harry.
Oh God.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select
Who?
offensive tackle Evan Neal out of Alabama, 6'6", 340 pounds, Harry. Incredibly versatile, can play left tackle and right tackle, depending on what they need him to do. Maybe both of them. They might need him to play both at the same time because, man, that offensive line was bad. 24th ranked in the league, according to Pro Football Focus. Neal, he's a great run blocker. You know, they draft, they bring in Doug Peterson, a guy who loves to run the football, as we know, like he did in Philadelphia. You know, you have James Robinson, and now you draft Travis Etienne in the first round of last year. He's coming back for his first year playing in the NFL. They're going to want to run the ball. They're going to need a run blocker. Evan Neal definitely helps that. You can run behind him. You'll pick up at least a few extra yards than you were getting last year just because of this one guy. And if you put him at left tackle, whatever it is, you get to protect your second-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, who I thought was maybe going to get killed last year playing behind this offensive line. What do you think about that pick, Harry?
I don't care who Jacksonville picks up. They made their best acquisition of the century when they got Doug Peterson. You could take this entire football team the way they sit right now, under his tutelage and his guidance with training in training camp, and this team will be a 500 ball club, if not better, next year. That's how much a difference they're going to make. Jacksonville finally did something right.
Finally.
They finally did something right. Peterson, their head coach, and if they get this tackle who's versatile like that, with that mean streak that he has, I know who you're talking about. Let me tell you something. That guy's got it's not a ton of upside. He's a plug and play. He will be a perennial Pro Bowler if he stays healthy. Great acquisition, I think.
Sure. With the number 2 pick, I'm going to do it for all 10 picks because
Don't.
The Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive end out of Michigan. He's a dog, Harry. He's a dog. Probably widely viewed as the best player in this draft in terms of straight talent. I don't think he's the best player. I'll tell you my best player in just a few picks. The Lions just need talent. They don't have a need. They really have needs everywhere. The Lions just need talent. Hutchinson is the top guy there at the end position, right? And they have picked 32 to draft an offensive weapon or even a quarterback if they want one. I mean, Hutchinson, man, 6'5", 270, He's an every down edge rusher. Closest thing I can compare him to is honestly J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, whatever it is.
Seriously, bro, do me a favor. Stop. You know, he's going to remind me of a lesser version of a Jadeveon Clowney. It's going to be the same type of player in the National Football League.
I think
He's
he's
going
a
to
little
show a ton
more.
of upside, but never pan out. That's
I
just
think
going to be my opinion.
I think Hutchinson's a bit more explosive than Clowney was.
What?
I
Jadeveon Clowney had I waited for someone to tell me this, and unfortunately it had to be you. So I'm going to go on to a Harry rant. Are you kidding me? Jadeveon Clowney was the biggest freak of nature I had ever seen coming out of college as a
it was
defensive end.
at a one.
Nobody. That move that he had coming off the line was faster than Simeon Rice. I'm going to tell you all the greatest outside edge rushers that ever played the game. This guy was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ when he came into the league. Nobody I seen faster than Jadeveon Clowney, and this guy's not even on his jockstrap.
Clowney got mauled by injuries though. He did. Clowney got mauled by injuries. Man, Hutchinson. My thing with Hutchinson is that he fits the Lions scheme he fits Dan Campbell's scheme so perfectly.
You do? You think so?
The perfect fit for this defense. And going from Michigan to the Lions,
I wish him nothing but the best.
I really think he's a good player, man.
Oh,
I don't know if he's the best edge rusher in this draft. I think he's widely viewed as the best edge rusher in this draft. I'm telling you, after like the top really after the top 3 or 4, I think there's a ton of players here that are going to be better than the top 3 picks. I really do. I honestly do think that. But with the number, anyway, Hutchinson, I think he's great. I think he's a piece that you can start building this defense around. I definitely start working with him, and he's incredibly explosive. All right, with the number 3 pick.
Oh, I hope it breaks.
The Houston Texans.
They trade their pick.
And no trades, Harry.
Oh.
Not yet. Maybe closer to the draft. Maybe like a couple weeks in early April. Maybe we'll start doing trades. The Houston Texans select Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end out of Oregon. Another defensive end.
He's the best defensive end in the draft.
This guy's a dog. I've heard this guy be compared to Jadeveon Clowney, and I hate that comparison.
Bro, this guy's the best DN in the draft.
6'5", 258. He's explosive. I think he ends up as more of a run stopper than a pass rusher, than a consistent pass rusher.
They better put some weight on because he's not very big.
No, but he is wide. He is a wide dude with that wingspan, Harry. Mm-hmm. He's going to be the guy at these pro days where, or the combine or whatever it is, where you're like, oh my God. You're like, this guy is a dog.
Oh, you got a couple of comments before you go there. Christopher Cole says, go cheap a quarterback and sign as many as our free agents and try to sign Gilmore. Can you imagine CD3 and Gilmore on the Bucs? That's a good one. And Troy Polamalu finally said something correct. Hutchinson is all hype. He got exposed by those big boys from Georgia. Bro, I said it before. Yeah, I don't take too much cred on what goes on in the Tiny 10. Come down to the SEC and I'll show you a little something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, man, Thibodeau's great. I think he's so talented. I don't know why people have been hating on him. I talked about this last week. I think that's ridiculous. I think he's great. I think he's going to be a week 1 impact maker. So, yeah. All right, the number 4 pick.
Oh.
The New York Jets. The New York Football Jets select Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame. He is, in my opinion, the best player in this draft.
I wish Troy Polamalu could comment on that. I want his opinion on Kyle Hamilton.
I think Kyle Hamilton's the best player in the draft. I do. 6'4", 220. He's long, he's lanky, and he moves so well when you watch him on film. He's truly a special player. And I've heard people, you can't draft safety in the top 5.
Sure you can.
It's not a premier position. It is when you have Kyle Hamilton, who is versatile and can play all over the place. And I know Jets fans are still, they're still trying to punch away and push away the thought of Jamal Adams. Who's Kyle? All right, whatever. of Jamal Adams from a couple of years ago with these safeties that can play all over the place. Guess what? Kyle Hamilton lined up. He is the most versatile player, most versatile D-back in this entire draft. I think so. He played safety, he played linebacker, played well linebacker, he played nickelback, and he played and literally and more. And he got to the passer. He's a great run stop, best open tackler in the draft, in my opinion. He's the guy that Jets need. The Jets secondary was so bad. The safety play was so bad. And I know, right? Jets. I know Bryce Hall is good. I know Peyton Apple's good. I know you want to say, but they're young, and we think, right? Jets fans are looking at New York.
Hold up. Jacob, I'm going to take you back out for a second. You need to reboot because you're completely froze up. Go ahead and reboot. So I guess I'll sit here and wait for Jacob to come back and reboot because I do want to hear his opinion because there's something wrong with his internet. Let me go ahead and bring him back in just for 1 second. Jacob, are you better?
I don't know actually. I don't think.
No, I think you're fine now. No, hello.
Give me a few minutes. Give me 30 seconds. Pull me.
You got it. I'm gonna go ahead and play some Greek music. You guys all like that, right? Hold on. Oh yeah. Everybody knows this funk. All we're wishing now is we had Fat Mike on the show. 4'6", baby.
All right, I should be good.
There he is. He's
good.
much better now.
I should be good now.
Now let's talk about Hamilton again.
All right. I can't play with that funky music over here. All right. So Kyle Hamilton, right? The Jets fans, I know you like your cornerback room. The Jets don't. They're not as high in it as we are. And for good reason, right? You want a true ball hawk, which Kyle Hamilton is. He can play. He's a ball hawk.
He's going to be a really, really good player. Whether they take him that high in the draft, I think they'll be able to get him a little further now.
No, I don't even know if they'll be able to get him at 4. I think the Texans might get him at 3, and I heard
that's true.
I heard the Lions might even get him at 2.
Let me tell you something. That's right, because if Houston's there, you got Mr. Defense himself, Mr. Lovie Smith.
Yeah. And I know the Jets. You want to add offense. You'll add offense. You can add offensive weapons in the second round. You have early second round picks. You can get a lot of first.
This draft, from what I understand, is so deep.
It's deep at every position besides quarterback.
Yeah, I hear they're really deep at safety though. In corners, I hear they're really deep this year.
Corner, the safety, but the drop off from safety is big. You have a lot. You have Kyle Hamilton here, and you have a lot of guys who are in like this range.
What do you think?
That's what I'm thinking. Zipper likes Kyle Hamilton. He wants the Jets to take
Zipper. Do you think it's Kyle Hamilton? Come here. No? Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
At number 5, pick number 5. The other New York team. You should have kept me out of this room. You should have kicked me out of my own show, and you'll never have to hear this again. The New York Giants select offensive tackle Ikem Ekwonu from NC State. A lot of people have him as the best offensive lineman in this draft.
I think he is.
He's super versatile. 6'4", 320.
I think he is the best lineman.
I mean, we know he's good. You watch the film, you see it. He's versatile. He can play tackle, can play guard, wherever you need him to line up. And he's going to be great. Another guy, week 1, all-pro potential.
There's been questions about his health, though.
There has. I'm not concerned about that. That's impossible to predict. But listen, this Giants offensive line was embarrassing last year. They were. They bring in Brian Dable. If they want to have any sort of offense, you have to protect your quarterback. You have to be able
They better get offensive linemen because I'm telling you, Brian Dable, New York Giant fans, be very, very careful. They love to run that 5-man protection. Mm-hmm. They don't like max protecting at all.
If they want to develop their quarterback, you need to get protection on him. You need to be able to run the ball, and they couldn't do that last year. I think Icky comes in and he fills a lot of needs for this offense right away. Right?
Yeah.
Number 6.
Hold on.
Get it out of here, stupid. Stupid comment. The Carolina Panthers select.
I love you, Troy.
Charles Cross, offensive tackle out of Mississippi State. I love Cross, man. 6'5", 305, massive guy.
Who takes him?
Panthers. I think he's a great fit for the Panthers. Great pass. He's better pass protector than run protector, but when you have Christian McCaffrey, when he can do it all, You don't. I mean that he
I
was.
think McCaffrey's gone this year. And by the way, this player you're talking about, I understand he's got a huge, really high motor, great ceiling, and he's going to be a real impact.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mel Kiper, and from every player in the draft. Oh my God. It's really that's. Thank you for the descriptiveness, Harry. That was really great.
Extraordinary. Good. High motor, great character, got a really big ceiling. It's going to be a real good player for many, many years to come. It's going to be a
Screw
great
off.
pick.
Screw off. All right. Listen, Cross is a great pass protector. And especially if the Panthers are going to switch a quarterback, you need a quarterback.
Your internet's doing it again,
It
bud.
sucks. Oh my God.
I know. It's horrible.
This is embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's okay.
All
Are
right.
you there?
I am. Whatever.
Okay.
Just
I
tell me
can hear
when
you. No, you sound great.
All right. So Charles Cross, you need to be able to protect the quarterback.
Right.
That's the main thing, right? So love that. Number 7. The New York Giants are up again. They're on the clock again. And this time
They trade the pick.
They go defense, and they select the defensive end Jermaine Johnson out of FSU.
Now
6'5",
that guy has
6'5",
got a huge motor.
And a great explosiveness, real impact maker.
Hey, buddy, he's from FSU.
Listen, Jermaine Johnson, FSU. I love FSU defensive players. I do.
Yeah.
I love him. 6'5", 265. He fits any scheme. He does. Fits any scheme.
Do you think he'll be better in a 4-3 or a 3-4?
I think he's a 4-3 kind of guy. But you saw his.
He's too small. He's too small to be a 4-3.
I think he fits both. I really do think he fits both.
He's a tweener, bro.
He's
a tweener.
Because he can play. You know what he is? He plays D end in a 3-4, and he can play outside.
But he's not fast.
Linebacker in a 4-3.
He's not fast. He's not fast enough to be the outside linebacker. I don't think. I really don't.
I think he lit it up at this. He was unblockable at the Senior Bowl, man. Unblockable at the Senior Bowl.
I didn't see it, but yeah, the guy does have a really, really high motor, great character, and will be around for a very long time.
You're the worst. We'll go to actually. What is this comment? What is this dumb comment? These are not your picks. You're just reading off Todd McShay's list. These are my picks. Oh my God,
Troy. I think I agree with you, Troy.
Because the top 6 picks are because the best players in the draft. Whatever.
Troy, it's coming. I'm starting to feel you, Troy. Can we just move on to the next one so we can hear that lovely chime music?
Yeah, we can. You guys are reading off Todd McShay's list. What a dumb comment that was.
I love Troy.
Pick number 8. The Atlanta Falcons select.
Who is Atlanta Falcons selecting?
Derek
I'm going to say
Jr., the corner. Derek Stingley Jr., corner out of LSU.
Finally, they go defense. And I know a little bit about him. He's about 200 pounds. This kid is a absolute beast. Great cover corner. Also really good at sticking the run. I'm telling you, this kid is incredible. And I mean it when I say this. Great motor, real intelligent, great personality, no off the field issues, will be a Pro Bowler. He's going to be a great pick.
He missed all of last year with I think it was a foot injury.
Yep.
But he's completely healed. He is. He's good now.
The kid's
I'm not
a beast,
concerned about the foot. Pair him with AJ Terrell, who was quietly one of the best corners in the league last year. Man, it's a great corner duo.
I'm telling you, if Atlanta gets him, they'll be very blessed. But then again, they were supposed to take someone defensively last year. Instead, they took arguably the best tight end and one of the best players in the NFL draft.
Yep. Now, I mean, Stingley's great in man. He is great in man coverage. He's great in zone, and he's a ball hawk.
Yep.
He is a ball hawk. My second favorite corner in this draft, actually. Number 9. We got 2 more of them. It'll be okay.
No, one more. There's only one more of them.
One more now. The Denver Broncos select George Karlaftis. I think he's a Greek boy.
Of course he is.
George
is there anything
Karlaftis,
else?
the defensive end from Purdue. He is a true power rusher, which is different compared to the other DNs in this draft. And man, is he good at it.
How much does he weigh? I didn't read his bio.
6'4", 275.
Yeah, he's
Two-
not big enough. His mama needs
He's
to feed him a little more baklava and spanakopita and a
he's a
little bit
big
of
boy, man.
moussaka and some pasticcio. You feed him that stuff, you get him up to 280, 290, he could be the steal in the draft. And of course, it's the Greek.
Yeah, yeah,
The Greek
He's
way.
a power rusher. He's so explosive. And
Yeah.
I think the Broncos. I don't think they need to address quarterback because I think they get one elsewhere.
It's it's the Greek. It's the Greek way.
Right away. And like I said, no quarterbacks in the top 10 because this is pre-free agency. We don't know where people are going. And whatever. Is what it is. So Broncos get Karlaftis. I think they get a real dog to add on to this defense. Yeah. Number 10. Last one, Harry. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Open your ears. I'm gonna make it so loud. I'm gonna make it The New York Jets are up again. Harry.
Oh God.
Isn't
They
that
trade
exciting?
the pick.
Isn't that exciting that the Jets are up? How exciting is that? Two
Um
picks in the top 10 for my New York Jets.
I'm excited.
With the 10th pick, the Jets select interior offensive lineman Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. This dude will fill a hole for the
Okay.
Jets. And the duos I heard was so the Jets either at 4 go with Ike Ekwonu, and he can play guard right away for week 1, which would be pretty cool. Really cool for them. But I like Hamilton more if he's there. And then if they take Icky, then at 10 they can go with a guy like Garrett Wilson, like Ahmad Gardner, so like Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati, who was my favorite corner in this draft. In total, he is ridiculous. So underrated still. I think he could possibly be a top 10 pick. I honestly do think that he could, depending on how it falls, he could definitely be a top 10 pick, maybe even for the Jets here. But man, Kenyon Green, 6'4", 325, can play both guard positions. They only need him to play right guard because they just get Elijah Vera Tucker last year. They trade up for him. And he can even play right tackle if you need him to play right tackle. I don't think they need him to. I think they'll be okay there with George Fant. But this allows the Jets offense to run both ways. This secures that offensive line. That really rounds it out for this perfect pass protection for Zach Wilson next year.
Right.
And then great run blocking. And it creates a top young guard duo. Maybe the best in the NFL with Elijah Vera Tucker and Kenyon Green. You got two guys that can be all pros by year 3 of their respective careers. Elijah Vera Tucker, maybe even next year, honestly. You protect your rookie quarterback. You can get your offensive weapons early in the second round. You can get a guy possibly like a Drake London, like a Treylon Burks, like a Jahan Dotson, like a Christian Watson, like a Trey McBride. All these guys, just weapons in the second round you can get. If you want to go wide receiver here, I understand it. I do. You can get a guy like Garrett Wilson, who is also a dog. Love him. One of, if not my favorite receiver. Probably not. He's up there for my favorite receiver. He's top 3, top 4. I love this. So those are my top 10. To recap, Jags get Evan Neal, Lions get Aiden Hutchinson, Texans get Kayvon Thibodeau, Jets get Kyle Hamilton, Giants get Ike Ekwonu at 5. Panthers get Charles Cross. Giants, with their second pick in the first round, get Jermaine Johnson. The Falcons get Derek Stingler Jr. The Broncos get George Karlaftis. And the Jets, with their second pick in the first round, take Kenyon Green. And I love it. I love it. And that's just 1.0. Things will change. People will leave. People will get signed to free agency. It'll change picks. But I think that's, for now, my hard count mock draft 1.0, Harry. What did you think?
I think it was really good. I think you did really good last year. I think you got 50% on your first 10 picks, if I'm not mistaken. You had a pretty good.
I think I did pretty well on it. I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You did a lot better than a lot of the analysts did
The analysts suck.
professionally. I know they do.
Most of them suck.
You know, switching gears.
I really like
Switching
Daniel
gears.
Jeremiah. I like Daniel Jeremiah. I like I'm gonna disrespect somebody. I like Jeremiah. I like Todd McShay. I like I think Mel Kiper 15 years ago was much better at his job. 10 years ago, whatever it was. I think now there's other guys who are in that category, but Kiper's still great. But But some of these other guys they got no clue what they're talking about.
I got a fun fact for you.
Go ahead.
The NFL draft is right around the corner.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
What are we? I think we might be exactly 2 months away.
Yeah.
Or at least 2 months.
Yep, couple months away. Hey, you want to switch gears real quick?
Go ahead.
How about the NBA? I got a fun stat for you. Michael Jordan has the longest the longest consecutive games of 35 points or more. He did it twice. In 1986, if I'm not mistaken, he had 10 consecutive games of 35 points or more. And then in 1988, he did it 7 consecutive times. Right now, DeMar DeRozan has 8 consecutive games of 35 points or more for the Chicago
Didn't he
Bulls.
blow it last night?
Huh?
Didn't he break that last night?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch. I was going to probably catch up on the highlights from today. From what I understand, it was that's just unbelievable.
Let me check. I want to actually check on that for you.
I'm kind of curious, and I'd love to hear your take on what do you think about the James Harden trade going to Philadelphia? Do you think Philadelphia is now the team to beat in the East, or do you still think it's the Bulls and the Milwaukee Bucks?
I think one sec. Just give me give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to find this Bulls thing. You go ahead and you tell me first. You tell me what you think about it. Oh no, he continued to streak. He's still running. Cool.
I thought it's 9.
They didn't play last night. The Bulls.
Okay, well then it's still 8. It's still running. If he gets to 9, then you're rooting for him to see if he can break. Are you rooting for him to break MJ's
The Rose is great. I don't know
his streak? Troy Polamalu says, "Is your mock mentor Mel Kiper?" No, buddy.
I'd love to see his.
We want to see your mock draft. And we want to see your mock draft, and we wanted to see it the Troy Polamalu way. No other way other than the Troy way. We want to know who the Jets are getting rid of to bring in Mitch Trubisky or whoever. Okay, we want to see Troy's mock draft. We'll be awaiting it because you know what, Troy? I love you. I think you're great for these shows. I think you're absolutely hilarious. Some of the hosts can't stand you, but you know what? You're more than welcome anytime that I'm on because I'll tell you what, you make these moods nice and light. You're the reason why, and one of the reasons why I continue to do shows, believe it or not, Jacob, because I absolutely love some of his sarcasm. It's funny.
I can promise he's not the reason I keep going.
I know. Hence I said some of the hosts.
Yeah. I don't know about this James Harden thing. I think Harden didn't do really well in his debut. I need to catch up on some of this NBA stuff, man. The NFL's taken over my life for the last however many months since NBA started. So I have to really start catching up. But I gotta wrap this thing up, Harry. So
why?
Because I got stuff to do, man. It's running for the hour. We do the hour, man. We do the hour.
Oh,
bad.
Horrible.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me right here on 1252 Sports on the over-under Friday evenings. I'm sorry I haven't been around. Past couple of weeks, it's been kind of extraordinary. And quite honestly, I don't have really that much to talk about. Go figure. The Greek that doesn't have much to talk about. But I can promise you one thing. Relatively soon, you'll be finding us a little bit more frequently on a Friday evening. You can also catch me on a Monday and Wednesday night on the Sports Web with host Mr. Peter Blake. And of course, Sunday mornings right here next to this young man, Mr. Jacob Charnow. Thank you so much for having me on, little brother.
Yes, sir, man. I'll talk to you later.
Peace. Cheers.
Peace. All right. Oh, there we go. All right. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap today from the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charnow. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Be sure to go follow me on Twitter at Jacob Charnow and on Instagram at Hard Count Football. Special thanks to Harry the Greek for coming on, talking about everything, sticking with me through this mock draft, talking about all these picks with me. I always really appreciate it. Be sure to check him out everywhere, guys. Subscribe to the Hard Count Football YouTube channel, guys. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up this offseason, a lot of fun draft stuff, and a lot of fun stuff leading up to next season. Check out all the other shows from 1252 Sports. I'll see you all next Sunday morning.